Hey, my name's Carrie Grant and I'm a vocal coach and a TV presenter, and I'm now 48, but when I was 18 I got Crohn's disease, and it's been a really massive journey. Like anyone that is diagnosed with an illness or condition, you have to work out, well, what do I think about this? And I think my initial thoughts at 18 were, that's it, my life's over, it's ended. I was so unhappy with my mindset. I was so unhappy that I felt that my life was over, and I knew that I couldn't stay with that mindset. So at 23, I remember laying there in the middle of the night. It was about 3 or 4 in the morning, and I just had a bit of an epiphany, and that was, I need to let go of what I've lost, and I need to embrace what I've got left. So yes, I'd lost a big chunk of my life because of Crohn's disease. Yes, that would mean that days would be different from now on, but what I had left was, I still had all my potential. I still had all my gifts. I could still sing and dance and act and teach and all those things that I do now. I think back in the day when I got ill, which is like 30 odd years ago, you're just kind of, we were just left to work out for yourself with most of the time specialists that really spoke down to you and you felt terrified of and you didn't know how to ask questions. But if you found that one person, and I happened to find a specialist who was amazing. What we didn't have back then was any kind of structure that everyone, you know, from the patient 360 degrees, where we look at who's doing what, who's responsible for what support do you need, and actually from person to person it's going to be different. For me with Crohn's, I need to know, how can I go to Africa when I'm travelling, and how do I cope with Crohn's disease when I'm in a place where there's no toilets? So that might be a challenge for me, whereas for somebody else it might be, I've got to go back to college and I've got a colostomy bag, and how do I cope with that when I have sex, or what, how do I, all the different questions that people have. And there's a myriad. Is that everyone knows where they're working, everyone knows what they're working towards, to actually, and the patient is right at the centre of that. I think where care and support planning can help someone, particularly if they're newly diagnosed, is it can actually order your head for you, because your head at that point is in total chaos. You've been given this big label, and it's great to just put the label down for a moment and look at what you start with. What's the first thing I can do? And there are stages that you go through, so you can forget the other stages and just look at one simple bite-sized chunk that you can cope with. Let's make care and support planning happen. Log on to www.nationalvoices.org.uk.